Hi, and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Wednesday evening. I hope you're having a lovely week. It is the last day of January, and I am looking forward to reading out the Roll of Honour on Friday because lots of you were doing lots of yoga during the month of January. So, absolutely brilliant. It was great for us to see. We really enjoy it. It gives us a boost to see plenty of you accessing the practices regularly. So thank you very much for that, and give yourself a pat on the back for keeping up your New Year's resolution. Going to do a bit of hip work today, so hopefully you will enjoy that and find it useful. But for now, let us begin in a seated position. Sitting up. Actually, let's begin lying down, because we're going to spend the first part of the practice lying down. So, just letting yourself relax on your mat, closing your eyes, softening the body, letting go of your day and everything that's going on in your world, and just bringing yourself to your practice. Becoming aware of yourself lying on your mat, aware of your orientation in the room and the space you're occupying. And then let your attention go to your breath as you inhale through your nose into your belly. Pause and then exhale. Extending that exhale, having the breath flow in a nice, smooth, steady manner. And let's take 3 more breaths here like this. And when you're ready, bending the right knee, hugging that knee into the chest, hugging it in nice and tight. So you're getting that knee in as close as you can. Getting a really deep flexion on that right hip. And then release the knee, keep the bend, so you're just not holding it anymore, but try to keep it in as close as you can. Extend the arms behind your head. And then from here, we're going to roll over onto our side. You can prop yourself up on your elbow and hold on to this right foot, placing it onto your left thigh. So it's like you're in a tree pose. Having that knee pointing straight up. It's a tree pose without having to balance. It's just a lot easier. But we're still getting the benefit of that hip being open. And then reaching forward for your foot, begin to raise the leg up, listening to your body here. So you don't need to open the leg straight out. You can keep a bend in the knee, just work with it as best suits you. And from here, let's lower ourselves down onto our back, still holding onto that leg. Extending the leg a little bit more if you can. If you've got your knee bent, just see, can you slowly start to open it up a little bit? And then releasing the leg, draw it all the way down to the right. Sorry, that's to the left. Apologies. And then drawing it up, bringing it all the way down to the right. And hopefully you've got a little bit more space than I do. It doesn't have to be at a right angle. Just work with your own body and what works for you. And bringing it back to center, let that leg come out long. And let's draw the left leg in, left knee in towards the chest. And then releasing the leg, keeping the knee bent, draw the arms out behind you. I'm just going to swivel around so I don't have my back to you. And then from here, coming on to your side, just propping yourself up, shoulder over elbow, and draw that left foot onto the right thigh for your tree pose. Having that decent angle. Try not to have any weight on the knee joints, so try to keep the foot up onto the thigh. And then holding onto the left foot, opening it out. And bringing yourself down to lie on your mat, encouraging the stretch in the leg. And then drawing that leg all the way over to the right. As I say, it doesn't have to be at a right angle. You can have it down lower just to work with your body. And then drawing that leg all the way over to the left. And bringing it back to the center, bending both knees, rolling over all the way to the front of your body. And from here, as you lie down, having the hands either side of the chest to start with, let's draw the forehead and chest away from the mat. And then lowering it down, let the arms come down by your sides as you again draw up with the chest and the forehead, keeping that gaze on the mat. And then draw the legs up too, so the knees are coming away from the mat. And lowering everything down. Good, and from here, once again, bringing the hands either side of the chest, elbows looking at each other as you draw up And this time pressing into the arms, coming into a cobra. One more breath here. And pushing up to your tabletop. Let's have it a slightly, no, we'll keep it just as a normal tabletop actually, and stretch that right leg back, pushing out. So keep the toes of the right foot on the mat and push the heel away from yourself. So you'll feel a stretch in the right calf as you do this. And then from here, we're going to sit back, letting this left foot come to the front and the right foot come out long. Sitting up tall here. So we've still got this angle in the left hip. And let's now fold forward. And then drawing yourself up. Let's swing around to the opposite way. So your right leg now comes behind you. Left leg stays bent in front of you as you come into an upright pigeon. Like a half pigeon. One more breath here. And let's bring it back to our tabletop, and this time stretch that left leg back. So again, coming onto the toes of that left foot, keeping it on the mat as you push the heel away and feel the stretch in the calf. One more breath here. Breathing into that stretch. And then drawing that right foot around slightly as you step the left leg out in front. So your right foot is up against your left thigh. Sitting up tall here, encouraging that right knee towards the mat to just open that angle at the hip a little bit wider. And then flexing both hips as you draw forward over this left leg, breathing into it. Each breath just getting you a little bit deeper. And coming back to upright as we now move this left leg to the back and come into our half pigeon. So this right knee is still bent. We've still got this flexion in the hip. Trying to stay upright. One more breath here. And then from here, coming back into your tabletop. Ears over shoulders. No, you don't want your ears over your shoulders. You want your shoulders over your wrists. I'm getting my alignment a little bit mixed up there. And curling the toes, hips over knees. We're going to push those hips back towards the heels, lifting the knees as we make our way up into our downward dog. Pedaling your way in, just giving that extra stretch to the legs. Pushing the hips back so you find the length in your spine that you're familiar with. Gaze towards the belly button. And now let's lift the right leg up. We're going to keep it raised here. Gaze towards the belly button. One more breath. Then bend that right knee and just tilt the body so you're gazing under that right armpit. One more breath. And now we're going to step this right leg on across behind that left leg and make our way up into a wild child. So you raise the right arm up. One more breath here. And drawing that right arm down, coming back into your downward dog. Two more breaths here in downward dog. Really pushing for that length in your spine. Pressing away from the mat with your hands. And let's now raise the left leg up, holding it up here, really keeping it as high as you can, feeling that extra stretch in the right leg as you do. Nice extension of that left hip. And then bending the left knee, let the gaze come out under that left armpit so your hips are almost getting stacked on top of each other. And then let's step that left foot on across, raising up the left arm for your wild child. One more breath. And let's bring it back to our downward dog. And then from here, coming down into your tabletop and swinging yourself around to come down onto your mat, lying on your mat with your knees bent, feet on the mat, and then draw that right foot across the left thigh, just keeping the ankle proud of it, lifting that left leg up. And if you're able to clasp your hands around the back of your thigh, do. And then encouraging this stretch, just drawing that left leg a little closer to your body. Feeling the increase in the flexion of the hip and the stretch of the glute and hamstring. both feet flexed. And then let's extend that left leg up. So the left foot is looking up at the ceiling. Again, encouraging that left leg towards you. And releasing the left leg, let it come down. Taking the right foot down, let's take it to the other side. So left leg goes across that right thigh. And lifting up the right foot, keeping the knee bent to start with, flexing both feet as you clasp around the thigh. Encouraging that right leg in closer to just exaggerate the stretch all along here and increasing that flexion in the hip. And extending the right leg up. Having the sole of the foot look at the ceiling so that foot stays nicely flexed. One more breath here. And letting that right foot come down and both feet on the mat again. And now we're going to lift both feet up, keeping the knees bent, holding on to the outside of the feet, having the elbows inside the knees if you can for a happy baby pose. And let's just encourage those knees down towards the mat. Two more breaths here. And you can alternate the feet. So just encouraging the knee down on the left and then release, and encourage it down on the right and release. Let your breath help you. And then letting both feet come back down onto the mat. Walking the feet out to the full width of the mat. Letting both knees fall over to the right. Arms in a T and gaze to the left. And then let's take that over to the other side. When you're ready, coming back to the center, let the legs come out long. The feet flop out to the side. Arms down by your sides with your palms facing upwards. And allow the body now to soften and release. as you let go your feet and your legs. Letting go your glutes and pelvis. Letting go the whole back of your body and shoulder blades. The front of your body, chest and shoulders. Letting go your arms and your hands. Your head, face, jaw and chin. The whole of your body, just let it go. And take a little moment here for your own personal gratitude. And let your attention go to your breath. As you inhale through your nose into your belly, pause, and then exhale. Letting your attention stay with your breath for the next few minutes.